A new AI assistant from Envision. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Envision is CEO Karthik Kannan. Hi, Karthik.
Hello, Fred. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time, and you have a new AI assistant named Ally. And this goes beyond the help you've been giving to those with no or low vision. Give us the overview here.
Ally was primarily started with the aim of, it still continues the mission of Envision wanting to help people who are blind and low vision to live more independently, right? And I think, of course, our user base has expanded over the years, and we've always been finding solution or finding problems that we could solve with this technology. And as AI started to really take off over the last couple of years, we started to see a way for us to build a completely new type of assistant, a completely new type of UI that a blind or low vision person can use in any circumstance, is 100% accessible, which also, and is very, very simple to use. And the last two parts make Ally something that's suitable for the elderly, apart from just people who are, blind or low vision. So it's an assistant that's aimed more towards people who feel overwhelmed by the existing choices they have with a chat GPT and with a Claude. And these assistants tend to be a little bit too difficult for people to pick up using. Whereas Ally is extremely simple, it's extremely approachable. There have been people who have never interacted with a smartphone, but are now talking to Ally and things like that, right? Ally also has an extremely social component where you're able to use Ally, or a lot of people who use Ally, use it also to provide some form of companionship throughout the day. It's because you can go ahead and tinker with Ally's personality. And again, this is far more than what you can possibly do with existing assistants out there, which usually restrict how much you can, what voices can you pick, for example, what languages can you speak it, to speak with it, and so on, right? Whereas Ally doesn't have those limitations. And lastly, Ally is also not, since it's not made by a company like an Apple, where they feel like, oh, we can only have those services on Apple devices, for example. Ally is very, very cross-functional. So you can have Ally on your phone. You could have Ally on your Envision glasses. You could have Ally on the web. But also, every Ally also comes with a phone number, so you can actually give a call to your Ally via a regular phone call, and Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever, right? So there's just so many other ways to access Ally, apart from just your phone. And I think that's just how the technology is going to evolve, basically.
Say hello to Ally, your seamless AI assistant on Envision Glasses and beyond. Ally is there for you at work.
Where is the power plug?
The power plug is right in front of you. No need for cable hunting.
Can you tell me what letters are for the center?
Hey, Alona. The letter is indeed for the volunteer center, still to Centrum, informing you that some construction work will start around the center in 2 months.
Ally is with you on the move.
When is my next train?
Good morning, Ben. Good you didn't forget your Envision glasses today. You have 4 minutes to your next train on Platform 4 and 15 minutes if you miss this one. Welcome to Amsterdam, Brian. Facing you is a Dutch canal with boats, a bustling bridge full of people and bikes, and greenery adding to the city's charm.
Ally deepens connections.
Can you summarize this email?
Isabel sent you a belated wish for your birthday. The card is pink and features a tower of donuts with candles reads, "Happy birthday, Alona."
Ally explores the world with you.
Tell me more about this museum.
You are standing next to the Rijksmuseum, and here's the kicker. It opened in 1885 and was built on a whopping 8,000 wooden piles, which are still supporting the building today.
Ally is there in everyday moments.
How many flower pots are there?
You are holding your favorite flower, a yellow calancho. Beside it, there are 2 other pots with vibrant yellow and purple primroses.
You know what I like. Give me a suggestion from the menu.
Ah, Brian. You should give the pork sausage stamp pot a lash. It will knock your socks off.
Ally guides you, empowers you, surprises you. Discover your world with Ally. Now available on the Envision Glasses.
Very interesting. So step us through how it's used here, the user experience.
Sure. Ally is very, very, very simple. There is really no user interface at all. So you just open the Ally on your glasses, on your phone. It's an app, and people can install the app on the App Store or the Play Store now directly. So once it's out, you can, or once you install Ally, there is a very simple onboarding process. You're literally having a conversation with somebody for the first time, and that's how it feels like, right? So Ally would say, hey, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you like? What do you dislike? And you can pick a few allies to begin with. We have created, for example, like a helpful and a cheerful ally, someone who is more deadpan and quirky. So you could pick through, maybe an ally that suits your personality best to begin with. And then you can just start talking to it, have a conversation. So there's just two buttons on allies on the ally app. You either like talk to ally or you text ally, and then you click on talk to ally, and you're able to have this conversation with whoever whichever ally you've picked. And over time you can customize your ally. You can say, okay, maybe this is like too cheerful for me, so I need something that's a little bit more deadpan, a little bit more morbid. I know, who are we to judge? So people are making all kinds of allies, so that's the beauty of it.
Interesting. How does pricing work for this?
Sure. So Allies right now, we just came out of public beta. When I say just, I'm literally talking about 1 hour ago. So we just launched on the App Store and the Play Store today. And we still haven't decided on what the pricing will be, but it'll most likely be a subscription service. The aim here with Ally is to try and impact as many lives as possible, because we do see this technology rapidly maturing and dropping in price, and it's able to do a lot more than we thought we did. So our initial expectations from Ally is to like just make it available for people to use, really see on what use cases we can tackle together, and which ones are like, and then eventually move on to a pricing model that we can charge end customers. So that is still not decided as we speak. However, I think a big draw for Ally is to use this in enterprises, in companies. For example, we are already going to be doing some early pilots with museums in the Netherlands, in the Bay Area, where people could use Ally instead of just an audio description service, right? So you could just install Ally on your phone, walk into a museum, and then just point at a particular piece of, artwork and say, hey, can you describe this for me? And we work with the museums to be able to create descriptions of their exhibits, and Ally is able to identify exhibits and give you a description accordingly, right? So those are some of the use cases that we're going after. And my guess is a lot of the revenue, the monetary value would probably get unlocked by these organizations wanting to make, or wanting to work with Ally. Yeah.
Give us some background about Envision and how it came about.
Sure. So Envision started in 2017. And the main sort of aim that we've had with Envision from the beginning was to see how could we use AI to help improve people's lives, and use it in a way that can help humanity for good. Um, and around that time, when AI was starting to get really hot, and this was 2017, 18, when I mean, it was getting hot in the sense people were starting to wake up to the realization that there is this new technology that we had long dreamed of that is now starting to slowly become as good as humans in many aspects of life, right? So when in 2016, AI for the first time beat humans when it came to recognizing text. AI started to beat humans when it came to recognizing faces. So there was a lot of that stuff that was happening in the AI space, and so that's sort of began. And I'd gone to a blind school in India to talk to kids about what it is to be an engineer, a designer. A lot of things came together, and at some point we realized that there is this piece of technology, and there is an audience out there that would really would benefit from having this technology in their hands. And so that's when Envision started. We started to build a very, very basic prototype app back in 2016. We launched it in 2017, and we thought it's a project that people would kind of be fascinated with for 2 weeks, and be done with it. But we're here 8 years later, so maybe we're doing something right, and the community has just been super kind to us.
And you've made use of Google Glass, that technology. Tell me about that. And I don't think they're making them now, or maybe they are. Tell me what you're doing with the glass.
Sure. So with the glasses, in 2019, Google gave us the Google Play Award for the best accessibility experience on Android. Um, and we realized when we were speaking to folks at Google, like, we've been always big proponents of smart glasses. In fact, the very first version of Envision, when I go back and look at this presentation that we made, it was built for smart glasses. And at that time, in 2017, it was, depending on who you asked, they would have told us we were crazy or, stupid, right? And because people felt that those kind of glasses are just too futuristic. You can't expect to see them in the market anytime soon. A couple of years later, Google told us about these glasses that they're working on, and we felt it was the right fit. But the only thing is that they said you can't use it to sell this to end customers. And I was like, okay, but these are blind and low vision people that would buy the glasses. And they decided to make an exception for us because the glasses were meant to be sold only to companies like DHL or FedEx, those kind of organizations. Um, and yeah, eventually what happened was we put out software onto Google Glasses, and that became the Envision Glasses. And today, Envision Glasses has thousands of people across the world using them in their daily life to read text, to recognize faces, objects, and so much more. And the glasses have now taken a new lease of life because they are the ideal form factor for experiencing Ally. When you put on a pair of glasses, a pair of talking glasses, and then talk to it and ask it questions and ask it to do things for you, it's so much better as an experience than having to hold a phone in your hand or having to use an external device to do this, right? And yes, Google did stop the glasses in 2023. They stopped producing the glasses, but Google has always made an exception for Envision. We have enough stock to be able to last us until the next great smart glasses hardware comes around, which, to be honest, it's still not there yet. A lot of people like to claim X or Y or Z. I think they're all great options, but there's no real smart glasses out there that developers can build on top of, you know. So it's almost like as if, there is this beautiful fertile land, but then you can't go and farm there because, the guys who like, who own the land basically think that, yeah, only they could build on top of it, or it's going to take some time before we get, give people access to the platform, right? So it's still the best hardware out there. So the Envision Glasses hardware is something that we still sell actively, and we'll continue to sell that in the foreseeable future. And also the updates, no matter what new hardware comes out and what new hardware we might move on to, the Envision Glasses will always be a priority for Envision, the hardware itself. And we have enough in the roadmap for the next year at least, and beyond, to be able to support all the Envision glasses and to continue to push updates, right? We've pushed like dozens of updates after Google discontinued the glasses officially, so we're still going strong. We still have a lot more to offer on the hardware, and we're just going to keep working on it. Yeah.
Just terrific. And to be clear, you don't need the glasses to be able to use your new tool, Ally tool.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need it. You don't need the glasses to use Ally. It can be installed on your phone. It can even be used on the web. So that's also there. And you don't need to install an app for using it on the web. You don't even need to sign in. You can just, the beauty of Ally is you can just download it on your phone and then have your first conversation and get stuff done, or just talk to Ally in like 30 seconds. so you don't have to go through an elaborate process of like, oh, give me your email, put in this, put in that, unless, you want to do things like saving an ally so that you can open the ally that you created on your phone. If you want to open that on the web or you want to use that on the glasses, that's when you have to create an account with Envision, and that's it. Yeah.
And you're showing this at a conference, I understand?
Yes. So, to your listeners, we're actually going to be there at the CSUN conference in LA next week. We're super excited because we've actually created a much needed tool for everyone who's going to CSUN, and that is the Ally, CSUN Ally. So, if you go to csun.ally.me, so that's csun.ally.me, you can actually access an ally that knows everything about CSUN. So you can basically go into CSUN and you can say, "Hey, can you tell me what what's the schedule for this Tuesday?" And the ally would basically tell you, "Hey, these are the talks that are happening," or you could be like, "Hey, when does happy hour start?" And ally could go ahead and tell you about it. And ally even knows things to do around CSUN. So you could say, "Hey, where can I grab lunch at CSUN, and I need to be back in like 5 minutes after lunch, right? So pick some restaurant in like a 5 minute distance, and Ally would actually do that for you because it knows that information as well. So if you're going to CSUN next week, you should definitely try out the CSUN Ally. And in general, you can install Ally on your phone as well. So we're available on App Store and Play Store. If you just search for ALLY from Envision, you'll be able to access it. Yeah.
Interesting. And the conference is focused on assistive technology. Tell me the story, Karthik, if you don't mind, why you chose this field to
Yeah.
go into. Why do you have this focus?
I think it comes from a very deep place of wanting to build something that can bring people onto a level playing field. I think a lot of the themes in my life have been around getting access to tools, that might have otherwise been out of access for me, and that put me on some kind of a level playing field with my peers, right? When we first had access to internet at home, or when we first had access, when I got access to my first, GPU when I was at NVIDIA, or there were umpteen instances in my life where just having access to tools uh, that really advanced tools have often put me on a platform or on a pedestal that my peers also have. And I think that's one aspect of it. But deep down, I do think that AI can make tremendous impact in accessibility. I think AI's biggest impact can be in the accessibility space. When we spoke to the kids in high school about what it is to be an engineer and designer, the key question that I asked them at that time was, what kind of problems would they like to solve when they grow up? And when you ask high school kids what kind of problems would they like to solve when they grow up and become adults, you know, um, most of them are very cheerful, optimistic answers, right? Like some people say, I want to go and build a colony on Mars. Like my nephew said he wanted to build a time travel machine, so he could go back to being younger. I mean, he was 12 already. I'm like, how much more younger do you want to get? But yeah, that's how people are, right? Really, really imaginative. But when I ask these kids what kind of problems would they like to solve when they grew up, the answers were more, I would say, like pedestrian. It was like, oh, I want to live independently. I want to go out independently. What if I'm able to, like, one day take public transport all by myself? If I just know that it's a sunny day outside, why should I just have to like spend so much time traveling when all you guys have to do is just walk out of the door, take, a bus or a train to the park, and then spend time there, experiencing the sun, right? And I think those are the kind of things that that really kind of put me or made me realize that there are huge groups of people in the world for whom they will spend an enormous energy of a time of their lives just trying to do some of the most basic things that we take for granted. And here is this technology that doesn't expect the world of a blind or a low vision person to change around them, but it simply offers a bridge between the visual world and the world of someone who's blind or low vision, right? So I think that is the reason why we continue, or we started Envision. And why we continued Envision is when we executed on this idea, we realized it's touching people's lives much more than what we imagined it to be. We thought it's a gimmick, or I thought, for example, like, oh, I mean, AI for people who are blind or low vision. I mean, who's even out there using this stuff? But when we started to see the initial traction of the Envision app, and when I personally put my credit card on the file by mistake, and I could see overnight how much we spent, or how much the users have grown, I think that's when we get a very clear idea of what we're building is in the right direction. Yeah.
So for more information, where should people go? I think you've told us already where they can get the app.
Yeah, yeah. So for more information, you should just go to ally.me. So ALLY.me. If you go on the website, you can go ahead and install the Ally app on your phone, or you can also try Ally on the web as well. And if you're going to see Sun next week, and you would like a nice companion to help you get around more easily, and so that you don't have to go through that annoying booklet they give you to find out which sessions you want to attend and things like that, you could just do that with Ally. You could go to csun.ally.me, so it's csun.ally.me, and this is an informal CSUN, Ally. It's not in any way endorsed by CSUN, just putting it out there. But it's an extremely helpful tool that knows everything about CSUN, and who's talking there and what is happening and so on. So you could use it to get around, and yeah, very, very excited to see what people are going to do with it.
Terrific. Karthik Kannan, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much for having me over, friend.